Hi, Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk, and if you watched my introduction to the new catalogue, you will have seen, you'd have had a sneak peek at these 4 cards that I have done using the varied vases, showing off the new in colours. So we've got Grapefruit Grove, Pineapple Punch, Blueberry Bushel and Call Me Clover, and I am going to make the lovely lipstick today. So they're all variations on the same theme, and they're all using the Varied Vases stamp set, which is gone. Oh, it fell on the floor, didn't it? Varied Vases and the matching punch, which also fell on the floor. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did it and show you a little trick for lining up the stamps and the punch. Okay, so what did I use? I used a piece of extra thick white, whisper white cardstock, cut in half, scored in half, standard base for that, then a standard matte in the lovely lipstick, and then the smaller matte, slightly bent there, smaller matte then in ordinary whisper white, and so we've got like a 1/8 of an inch around all of those mats. Okay, so we're going to do some stamping. Now I'm going to do some stamping on this and some stamping on that, and I'm going to do some cutting on that because I just like to gut that as much as possible so we don't waste it. You don't notice when you look at this card that things have been cut away. You don't notice on that side that things have been cut away, but they have. Okay, so what I have done is on a scrap piece of card, I used my punch, which I really can't see. Oh, there it is. So I punched out these shapes on a bit of scrap card, and then I used that as a template to line up the punches, the stamps, so that when I stamp it on, this will just fit it nicely. I will demonstrate now exactly what I mean. So I'm going to stamp tone on tone vases. I'm getting quite a collection now, which I shall be putting in a pot so that they are all ready for when I might need to use them. So I'm just going to stamp that, leaving a margin on there, and then I can come in with my punch, and because of the way I lined it up, oh, I went too far of a margin. It's okay, we have 2 bits of cardstock, 2 sides. So yes, you want to leave a margin, but you actually don't want to go too high. And then I misstamped that. Oh, do you know? Doesn't matter. So that will now line up like so for you to cut out. And then I also get a tulip and a bit of a random. This is for a leaf. And so I have got some tone on tone vases there, which I will be using in a project. Okay, on the other side, what I decided to do to not waste is I'm bound to, at some point, use the label punch. So I may as well have one cut out ready. And I'm also going to use my circle tab, because whenever I get new ink, I always make my sponge for sponging. So I've got my 1/4 bit of sponge. I fold that over so I've got something to hang on to. I take my stapler. You can use any stapler, I just happen to have a Stampin' Up one. And there, so I've got that ready for sponging. So I'm all sorted. And that you just won't notice. Okay, I need a scrap of Whisper White to stamp these again, and this time I'm going to go over to the edge because I don't want to waste card. I don't need a white tulip, so I do that so then those other bits aren't stamped out. As you can see, lined up lovely. Give that a punch. And there we are. So now we've got a choice of vases to use on our project. Okay, and I have kind of mixed and matched them in the cards. Okay, so I'll move them to one side. Get rid of... oh no, we still need that. Oh, I'm going to clean my stamp and I'm going to show you, we have in the new catalogue got this chamois that fits our stamp boxes, the thin ones. It's quite a thick chamois, it's really pliable, it's filthy. I've only used it making these vase cards. Managed not to get too much on the other side. All you do, wet it with water, give it a wring out, leave it in your box whilst you're stamping, and you can use it to clean quite nicely. The ink goes on here, but it doesn't go on your hands. You see? How fab's that? It will stay dirty, but it's cleaned me stamps. Love it. And then all you do at the end of your day, leave it to dry out. So don't encase it. At the end of the day, leave it to dry out, and then re-wet it the next day. Okay, but during the day you're using it, it's fine like that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my sort of shelf thing. So I'm going to line it up on my grid mat, have that straight, and I'm going to put some masking tape across that bold line. I actually want it lower, and then this will help me get straight stamping. There we go. And then I'm going to take that border there. So I'm taking the outline. Okay, make sure it's straight. Pick it up. I'm using Memento Black. And I'm going to stamp across. And it just fits nicely because I cut it down to my second size border. So there's that. Just give that a wipe. There you go, clean as a whistle. And then I'm going to change over to this one. I like to lay it down and then pick it up so that you're not warping it in any way, because it's really easy with these thin long ones to kind of move them about. And then you can see through to line it up inside the black lines, like so. Give that a wipe, because that's the first time I've used it in pink. It is coloured and it's stained, and that's the way it's going to remain, and there's not really anything you can do about that. Okay, so I can take that off now. That is that bit done, and now I'm going to stamp my flowers. I'm going to stamp my flowers in Memento Black. I put this one in the middle, slightly above the shelf, because well, just because, really. Okay, so that's that one. And then I'm going to take this smaller one. I've done them all sort of slightly different, every single one of them. Put that one there. And I'll get the other. There are 4 flowers and you've got one that sort of bends over, so I've used the bent over one in that one, but not in those 2. But I have in that one, so I'm not using it on this one. There we go. Slightly missed an edge on there, but it doesn't matter. Right, and now I'm going to put the black away. We are going to fill in the colour with the infills stamps. So this is a 2-step Stampin. So I've done, so I'm going to ink that up like so. I'm going to rub away the edge of that. So I don't get it on my card. Line up. As best you can. I don't think it matters if it's not perfect. It's absolutely fine. And you can, if you want, make a lighter colour by stamping off to give it a variation. Like so. And then the final one. Oh, I've managed to, in my attempt to clean off, I took it all off. There we go. And now we need to put the vases on, and if you look at those, I've done some that have been stamped on white and some that are tone on tone. These ones are all just the outline with some watercolouring. I've done all 3 on that one and not on that one. So I'm going to do this again to show you what that is like. So I think we'll have that one there. Actually, no. I quite like the blue water in the middle. Yeah, so we'll do that. So we'll get our outline of our vase. You have the choice between a solid block for your vase, a completely empty one, or one with patterns on. So the choice is yours of how you want to do this. And because of photopolymer, you can see exactly where you're stamping. So I can stamp that down quite nicely. And then just put this away. I get my blue bushel. I've done a bit of that stuff. Created a bit of a water palette there. I have taken my aqua painter. Going to add a bit of water to that so that I can just gently do a little bit of watercolouring in there to give the effect of a bit of water. Not that your water that comes out your tap that you put your flowers in is blue, but you know what I mean. Okay, and then I just need to think of what sentiment am I going to put on that. I'm going to put thanks, and so I'm going to send this out with a catalogue, and I'm saying thanks for requesting one. Did I clean that one? Yeah. So going to do thanks, and then you have the choice between doing it in the same colour or doing it in black, and it's entirely up to you. I'm going to do it in black. And the nice thing about the photopolymer is you can see and know to get it straight. And then all we need to do now is stick it all together. So we've got to stick these on. So I'm going to use a bit of Tombow on there. I'm not corking because it was in my mouth. I'll get this now. And then I'm just going to use a bit of Tombow on the back of this because I like wigglage when I'm layering. I'm not going to put that in my mouth again because it'll be in there for too long. Okay, you could sponge the edges. I'm not going to on this one. I'll show you the difference. So that one's clean like that, and these two are sponged, so you can see the difference for yourself, which you like. I decided to go for a clean edge on this one, and then a bit of Tombow around the edges of this, and then just in these bits as well. Bring out my card. And there you have it. So that's lovely lipstick. That one's Pineapple Punch. That one, Call Me Clover. Then we have Grapefruit Grove and Blueberry Bushel. Okay, and that's all the sentiments that you get in this set. I absolutely love this set. I am really, really excited by the new catalogue. Really, really excited by the new colours. If you haven't got a demonstrator and you haven't got a catalogue and you'd like one, just drop me a message and I will put one in the post to you. All right. So the other thing I'm doing is I've made these colour swatches because we've had a colour revamp, and I've put, that's all the in colours. I've put in there all your new neutrals, all your new regals, all your new brights, and all your new subtles, and then there's your basics at the back there. Okay, I've added a little scissor charm, so I will be sending these out as part of the thank yous with anybody that orders from me in June. So if you want one of these, then, you know, shop with me. That'll be great and I'd love it. Please use the hostess code, which you'll find on my blog, nigezza.co.uk, and then you will get a share in the host rewards as well, and you'll get some free product as well. Okay, so please give me the thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I am really close to 1,000, and I'm quite excited about that. Pop over to my blog for all the measurements and close-ups of these cards. And you can see with that one, that's the inside of that flower that I went round the edges. Gave that one a little bit of a wider margin, just to give it a little bit of a different feel. Okay, see you again soon. Bye bye.